And we are live. Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? Hope you are having an amazing day so far. And good morning, good afternoon, good night from wherever you are tuning in from. In all parts of the world, this is a global page and it's a global business. So we are from all parts of the world. And you know what? Feel free to share the live as you come in. Share, share, share. Maybe this information can resonate with somebody else who is actually looking for a legitimate digital business. So feel free to share the live. My guest today is Woodley.
Hi.
Hi. And she is coming from Canada, right?
Yes, exactly.
Welcome, Woodley, and thank you for taking some of your precious time to come and do this interview with me. I'm glad that you are here.
Thank you. Thank you, Jael, for having me, essentially.
Nice. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, let me introduce myself again. My name is Jael. I am originally from the Caribbean, specifically Trinidad and Tobago, but I now live in the US with my family. I am a wife. I am a mom of four beautiful children. I am a registered nurse by profession, and I am a proud digital business owner and a mentor. I will let Audley introduce herself.
Yeah, sure. So who am I? I think it says here that I'm a digital business owner. I'm a mom. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. So I think that all of these things define me essentially.
Nice. Good. So I will just be asking you some questions. This segment is really for you to get to see other digital business owners from all over the world because they are real like me. And you need to see that they are really having huge success in this business and you can too. Right? So I will just be asking her some questions. So the first question is how long have you been in this business and how did you come across this business?
It's a very, very good question. And I remember the day very well because it's going to be, I think it just turned 2 years now that I've stumbled upon the opportunity. I was on my mat leave for my first child, so my son, and the mat leave was coming to an end. And I was not ready to let go. Like I was anticipating me going back to that previous job, which really meant, like waking up super early in the morning,
Right.
long hour commute, being physically, mentally exhausted, and then coming back home super late at night, having barely enough energy to do anything, let alone play with my son and watch him grow, watch him reach all his milestones, right? So I was looking, I mean, I was like almost, I was not depressed, but I was like really, really sad. There was like
Mhm.
time where I was playing with him and I was like, I couldn't even look at him
Oh God.
because it really felt like, okay, you know what? It is going to happen. It is imminent. It's coming, right? So on one day I was like super down, but then I had a conversation with a couple friend, like two people that my husband and I, like we know, and we
Okay.
really love them because they have this entrepreneurial mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like boosting me into, like it's true, you've tried some things, it did not work out, but like keep yourself like up and try again, even if it means that you have to go back to that job, then you know what, it's okay, it's temporary. So already that led me into that night. I think it was October 31st.
Wow.
I was just on Facebook. And by the way, JL, I am never on Facebook. Like,
Really?
I know it's so ironic because some people ask me, like, you do an online business, but you say you're never on on
Facebook.
social media. I mean, even before starting any business, I did not have a Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not have one on Instagram, but now I'm no longer on Instagram. I'm really not a social media type of girl, right?
Right.
But on that night, like something told me, go on Facebook. I was just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and then I stumbled upon the ad of this woman. She had like, I think she had four kids, like you.
Right.
She had four kids with four daughters.
Wow.
And she was saying that she had found a way to just stay home with their kids, to spend more time with them. And of course, automatically I was intrigued. So I just clicked on her ad. I decided to subscribe and on her website and
Mm-hmm.
watch the free 90 minutes workshop that she was inviting me to watch. And I kid you not, honestly, like when I say that, it's not even like to put like anything extra, but like I could not sleep that night because just had that conversation with the couple, and then I took some actions, and then this opportunity landed
That's
on
like,
my lap. So I was like, okay, God, like this has to be coming from you. But just to be sure, like, is it from you? So I
right.
was like
Mm-hmm.
sleeping. I was trying to sleep, but I was like, no, 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 this is like something that I would be able to do. Like I was just trying, like my brain was just like, like the hamster. Like I
I
can't.
know.
I think I probably like woke up, went to see if it was
It was
real.
just on your mind.
Exactly. And then after that, I decided to just continue and take the further steps into it. And ultimately, yeah, this is how I got in.
Wow.
So,
Yes. It really plays on your mind all the time. It's like, is this real? Is Should I start this? Should I do this? So I know exactly
mm,
I know exactly how you
mm,
feel.
true.
Um okay, so why did you start and what motivated you to start this online business? What is the your
Yes.
motivation?
So what motivated me, I think, yeah, based on what I just said, mainly my son, like I have to say that there's been a shift since I had my firstborn. Um, I mean, I've been a nurse for like now 10 years, going on 11. And very early on in my career, it seemed like, okay, there's got to be more. There's got to be more than that. Like, I felt like it was not enough for me personally, right? And then I stumbled upon the book of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Not stumble, actually, my husband, who was then my boyfriend, yeah, not fiance yet, yeah, boyfriend. He had like read the book and he was like, okay, you need to read that book. So I read the book and I was like, this is what I mean by more. Like, there's got to be like some way that I need to start something else, right? So that really planted a seed in me, but I didn't really act on it, right? So it took time. And yes, I had this in the back of my mind, but years and years went by until boom, I found the reason. Like my son was born, and then I mean that's another story, but essentially it was a traumatic birth. He was born with the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck twice. So he was like a cold pink. Like you probably know what that is. Yes.
Mhm.
As a nurse, as a fellow nurse, like he was not breathing for the first 12 minutes of his life. So, of course, that probably like strengthened the bond and the attachment. Like in hindsight, I'm thinking, but I was like, yeah, this child, I have to protect him. And this is pretty much like what was going on. Like while they were resuscitating him, I was like,
Ooh, what was going through your head? Wow.
I was like, oh no, Lord, I did not carry this child for 9 months for that. This is not happening. So I started praising him. Like my husband remembered, my sister was there. My parents fell asleep, so they were not in the room. But yeah, I was like, no, this cannot be happening. So I was starting to praise him. I was like, thank you for giving me this child.
Hmm.
I will raise him to be like a good citizen in this world and the next for you because I know that you are going to allow him to breathe. And ever since, like has been my priority in life. I
Right.
decided to put a child into this world, so it is my responsibility to just rear him, just like the
Right.
Bible says in Proverbs, right? So honestly, this has been my fuel. And this is why, even through the ups and downs of what it means to be an online business owner, I mean, my reason why is so strong that this is why I'm still there 2 years later.
Wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh, you make me,
Sorry.
you make sense to me. It's like, wow. Hmm. Okay. So before I ask you the next question, I wanna recognize Mu SA. Thank you for tuning in, and y'all can feel free to say hi, where you tuning in from. Let's see who is watching, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so the next question: were you skeptical to start this business, and if so, how did you overcome such skepticism?
Yeah, that's a very good question because I think that most people, when we see an opportunity and it looks too good to be true, we're always like, right? And even as nurses, right? Like we always tell each other that we have to have critical thinking. Like we cannot put our names into anything that
Exactly.
is scammy or
Mm-hmm.
shady. So of course I came into the business, and like I said in that conversation with God I had, it's like, this is too good to be true. Is that really possible? People like everyday people like doing this online and getting these results. Is that even possible? So, of course, I had my share of doubts. Um, but I have to say that I quickly overcame them because I'm someone who really goes into it deeply. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided to do my due diligence. I decided to really look into things, in depth. So there's so many ways that you can do that. Essentially, researching for the people, right? I need to know if Jael is a real person. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to try to go into her account. I remember it was like a detective. I, I stacked on so many people. They have no idea till this day. Some of them I even came into contact. I was like, hey, like about this opportunity, I'm trying to see if it, like
Right.
not saying it's real because obviously this person is going to tell you that it's real. But I was just
Exactly.
asking, like, okay, well, like some of the questions like were personal. So what do you do for a living? And when you have like an engineer who's still working as an engineer and doing this part time, this
Right.
adds credibility. Other nurses doing this
Mm-hmm.
adds credibility. Even some doctors, like people from all walks of life doing
Anyway.
this. And you're like, okay, that helps. But even going further into the business itself, right? The mode, like, is this a pyramid? Like, like we have so many of us have heard of the pyramids, and
Yeah.
like all those schemes that are out there trying to
Mm-hmm.
rob people from money. So I really had to be careful because even before finding this opportunity, I almost got into a pyramid, and by doing my due diligence, I did not get in because I understood that this was not it.
Exactly.
So I would say that getting into things very deeply, not looking just at the surface, because that's another problem. Some people will say it's a scam and then they'll just completely dismiss it. And
Right.
it's like you just lost potentially a great
Right? An opportunity right there, and you just don't know it. You just don't
Exactly.
take it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that, yeah, doing my due diligence, doing my homework, making sure that all my questions were answered, that I understood what I was getting into, and also starting, I would say, to have like that mindset that, okay, you know what, the get rich quick is not going to happen, right? Because this is also something like I feel like we think, okay, get rich quick is
Mm-hmm.
scammy,
Right.
but I feel like in the back of our head, this is still what we want, right? So I really had to wrap my head around, okay, these people have been doing this for years. So this is how they got the results. So I'll need to be perseverant. I'll need to,
Mm-hmm.
stick to it. So honestly, I think that all around this is what I did in order to just overcome my skepticism. My husband didn't help though. Like he was like so skeptical, like like he was this kind of person that's saying like scam, not even looking into it, like scam, like he was like scam, like there was nothing. So I really had to go in depth and really tell him that no, it's not. Look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. And
Right.
even after doing that, like he had his share of doubts, but like I had honestly did I had done my own works. I had prayed on it. I felt comfortable with my decision. So here we are.
Okay. Nice.
Mhm.
So for me, was I skeptical to join this business? Absolutely. I think I wasn't even a little skeptical. I was like all there.
Big skeptical.
I just don't believe much things online. I was that kind of person. Just don't believe nothing online. And when I saw this ad popped up on my Facebook feed, I was like, what is she talking about? It's like, okay, let me just watch her. And I was like, okay, this just another one of them. So I when I messaged her and I was like, I need to talk to her. I need to be on the
Mhm.
phone, like have a conversation. Are you real? And I started talking to her, and she was a nurse just like me. She was an immigrant. I was like, okay. And then
That helps.
I seen something similar. So I was like, okay,
Mhm.
nice. I could deal with this. So I watched a webinar. The first time I watched a webinar, I was like, okay, this sounds good, but is this real? Like, I can't get myself into this kind of thing. But I was on maternity leave as well too, so
Oh wow.
I just needed something. Yeah. So I watched a webinar. I think I watched a webinar like maybe close to 10 times because I just wanted to make sure
I
that
watched
this was
four.
for.
I had to watch four, and then I stalked some people too. Like I had to stalk some people. Like I was like, is she real? Is she real? Like yeah, me too. I think it's a common thread in a lot of people.
I just wanted to make sure. And then when I saw that 149, it's like, oh my gosh, should I? Should I not? It's like, at least it's refundable. I could, try to get back my money before 30 days and see if this is for me or not. Let me just try to just take this opportunity and see if it's for me. And, so I paid the 149, and that is when my mind was gone. But I actually came into the community and saw real business owners getting real results. I was like, okay, this is real. This could happen. This is for me. This was sent for me. So that was just it. But I was super, super skeptical in the beginning. But I'm
You
so
were
glad
like,
I made that decision.
yeah, because
Okay.
you overcame that skepticism by just not dismissing it altogether, but
Right.
looking into it further. So I think that,
Yes.
you know, there's so many steps that we do that are free first. I think that anybody who wants to start doing their due diligence can still do it without any
Right.
commitment, right?
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
Okay, so I have the last question for you. What advice do you have for people who are thinking about starting this business?
Hmm. Very good question. First advice that I always tell my action takers or people who are interested but are not sure is to really take some time and sit down and figure out the reason why they want to do it. Because for a lot of us, not all, but a lot of us, we're not coming from an intro, which means that during the road, we may have some setbacks, we may have some obstacles. It happens everywhere, like business owners, most of them have that. But we can easily get delusioned that it's going to be a walk in the park. So, in order to keep driving and keep persevering, we really need a strong anchor. And that anchor is your why. So, why are you even doing that? Like I shared my experience, and for me, it was my child. It was my firstborn, being able to be there for him, to be able to see him, watch him grow. That was like really non-negotiable for me. So I would say first, find your reason why. And I remember like there was this person that was saying, it was like I think she's a business owner in another kind of business, but I was listening to her on YouTube, and she was saying that you need to find the why that makes you cry. I mean, I wouldn't go like all the way there, but I feel like, the why cannot be superficial. It can't be to buy a new house. It can't be to
Right.
buy new shoes. It has to be something deep, something that you're willing to just push through um, and persevere because it's so important to you. So it could be, like helping people abroad. It could be family members that are sick. You want to be there for them. You just want more time in order to be present for your family. There's so many reasons. And like I can't judge, right? Like people have their own reasons for entering into the business. But if there is a trend that I've seen in the past 2 years, is that if the why is not anchored enough, like the winds of life are gonna come, and the set of the sail is just gonna go like on
Mhm.
its way, because you haven't really set up your sail. So I would say, yeah, that's the first advice that I would have for people. The second advice that I would have for other people is to also examine who you are, because this business, although we would like to say that it's for everyone, and it kind of is for everyone in
Anyone
the
else?
sense, right? Like anybody can do it. You don't need experience, you don't need a degree, you don't need a marketing training. Everything is provided in the
Right,
business, but you need to be the right person. And what I mean by that is that you have to be teachable, you have to be coachable,
mm,
have to come with a growth mindset. What I mean by that is, not thinking about like, is it gonna fail? Because what you're thinking about is most likely what's gonna happen. There is a
right.
passage in Job. I'm sorry, I'm francophone. I know the verses in French. I don't know them perfectly in
Oh,
English.
yes, you're French.
In French, it says "ce que je crains, c'est ce qui m'arrive." So what it means in
Mashallah.
English, a loose translation would be, "What I fear is what's happening to me." So if you're coming with the fear that you're not going to make it, you're going to fail miserably, that you're not going to be good, and it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you're just going to not take the actions that are required for you to be a success. So I
Right.
would say that examining yourself, after discovering the strong why that you have, examining yourself. Am I someone who's really willing to learn, who's teachable, who's coachable, who's able to really do the things that are required for me to do? Because although this business, I would say, is fairly, I don't like the word easy, but it's just that all the pieces have been
It's
brought
there.
together for us, right? So it's not like you're starting your own brick and mortar, or you're
Right.
starting your own and you're putting the building blocks. You have a system that has worked for so many people, thousands of people. Now it's a matter of making it work for you,
Right.
right? So I would say that, yeah, being teachable, coachable, and coming with a growth mindset that, okay, you know what, I may not know everything now, but I'm willing and able to learn. It's gonna like take the time that it's gonna take for it to work, but there's no other way that, like there's nothing else. And that's something else as well, because for a lot of people, for a lot of us, I would say, because I'm putting myself in the lot, um, it's like we've tried so many things, and we have like what's this called? There is this a name, a term, syndrome, like a
Mhm.
shiny object syndrome.
Yeah, shiny syndrome.
Exactly. So you find this opportunity and you're like, oh, this is good. This is for me. And then in three
And you
months from now, you're not getting any results. You find something else and you're like, oh, this is for me. I'm
yes,
gonna try it. I'm
you
gonna
keep
try it.
jumping around.
If you don't persevere, then you start, you're going to say
Hmm.
that, oh, this business did not work. It didn't work, but maybe you were the one who did not make it work for you.
Right.
So I would say that these would be my main advice, and also to try, right? Because if you're following Jael's page, I don't believe in coincidences. Personally, I don't believe that. If you stumbled upon her ad, I don't believe in coincidences as well. Um, if you were looking for something and then you found something, I would say that the best you could do is to actually do your due diligence and just go through the steps with an open mind and see if it actually is for you. If it's not, it's not. But at
Right.
least you don't have the regret, because
Mhm.
so many of us in our team, like so many are saying like, I saw this ad like 2 years ago. I saw it a year ago. Like, why didn't I click? Right? So I
Exactly.
want to be the person that just missed out because she didn't go all the way through. And yeah, these would be my main advice for people.
Yeah, so you won't know unless you try, right?
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, that's all the questions I have for you while you're still here. I just want to invite you all to the webinar tonight. You all know the webinar is every Tuesday and Thursday, and it's a great information session where you'll know about the business in detail, and you'll also see some successful business owners see their journey and how they're actually having success in this business. So come and enjoy the webinar tonight at 8 p.m. your Eastern Standard Time, right?
Yes,
Eastern
exactly.
Standard Time.
Yes.
Yes. So come. Oh, let me say hi to Sunshine Hunter. Thanks for tuning in, sis.
Hi.
Okay, so that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Woodley, for your for taking time out of your busy schedule. And goodbye. Have a good day, everyone.
Pleasure, Jill. It was an honor. It was truly fun. I really
Thank
loved it.
you. Thank you.
Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye.